my favourite piece, I think, came from one of these demos. It's called The Forces of Attraction. And it's actually a guitar-based, unusually for Theory's score, it's a guitar-based track. And he'd recorded it with someone who was drunk when he was playing the guitar, and had this very peculiar sort of dissonance to it, but it was beautiful. And I'd tempt the film at this point with a Nick Drake song, which I wasn't sure was right, called Northern Sky. And Jóhann liked Nick Drake and liked this piece. Then sort of came up with this, dug up this old demo of his with this drunken guitar player. And it's just a lovely piece of music that has an incredibly important role to play in the film, because it turns the film into a love triangle, this piece. I think that Jóhann's voice in Theory was for me one of the most important ones. There was Eddie Redmayne, of course, and Felicity Jones, and the cinematographer Benoit Delhomme, who made huge contributions to that film, but Jóhann completed that, and the film would be a very different experience without his voice in it. And it is his voice. It's his voice, you know, with boundaries around it. And there's another piece which has a sort of connection with the work he did in Sicario, where he's using this incredibly disturbing low-end kind of drone. And it's when the character truly goes mad. And it's this crescendo of building synth notes that seem to come from hell, basically. He's somehow channeled this diabolical sound. And it's sort of, you know, when we were mixing it, the room literally shook. It was so low end. It was so on a frequency that unsettled your stomach, your soul. And it's, again, that's the third piece in that score that I think is truly extraordinary. Again, it has a connection with Sicario, which is the film that Jóhann did after Theory of Everything, and it's a very different kind of score. That score attacks you. It's like an assault, where Theory kind of stroked you a bit, I guess. Not only stroked you, but it had a stroking element to it, where Sicario was full on, and he really let rip on that one. I think it's an astonishing score. I love all of his scores, as you can hear and gather. I love Orphée, which was the last record he did, and he sent me a copy before it was officially sort of out there. And that's a record I listened to a lot when I got it, which was just before he died, I guess, a year before he died. So Orphée is a special one. The IBM project is also a special one, because that first track I heard, The Sun's Gone Dim, which is still an astonishingly beautiful piece of music that gives me goosebumps every time I hear it. And I love this piece, Forces of Attraction, that he did for me. That's one of the things that I feel really proud about as a filmmaker, that I've managed to you know, enable these pieces of music to be created by this beautiful composer who I was very fond of on a personal level too. I wanted to cuddle him. He had a kind of, I don't like hugging people very much. I'm British, and our generation didn't hug people when I was growing up, and I find it quite uncomfortable to be hugged by people, but him I always liked to hug. He was very huggable, somehow, which is not the first thing you think about when you listen to his music. He's one of the few men that I like to hug.